The world is evolving at an unprecedented pace. Change happens faster than ever. It took nature millions of years to shape creatures into new species, a little more than a century for industrialization to spread light across the globe, a few years for the internet to radically transform human behavior. How long will it take for the next revolution to happen? The world is changing so fast that organizations struggle to keep up and fight to prepare their people for the change occurring on their doorsteps. The ability to adapt is now in the hands of your people. We believe in humans, intelligent and agile beings with the precious ability to learn. We believe in knowledge and its power to move organizations forward. We believe we can enable progress with every individual and every organization. Because we are your partner and we understand the complexity of your challenge. We recognize your fear and anticipate your distress. We honor your vision and share your ambition. That's why for the past 15 years, we have been focusing on your people. We have been developing their skills to get them ready to be the change you envision. We have unleashed potential and unveiled talent. That's why we exist. To breed the captains of your future journey. To empower transformation. Your transformation. Crossknowledge.
When your office seems unfamiliar, people are behaving differently,
We need to brainstorm together.
It's just not possible.
and business just feels complex.
Tom's wanted to kill me on more than one occasion.
I need to shake things up.
There's only one thing to do. Call the team. The next generation of e-learning. Get in the action.
We're all supposed to contribute.
It's completely out of the question right now.
What do you think?
Engage in realistic situations.
Love it that Paul has a handle on my neck of the woods.
Solve real-world problems.
Stay positive, be optimistic, give it all you got.
And learn like you've never learned before.
Hey, you're doing a great job, Anne. Yeah? Nice work.
Show me what you're made of.
Okay.
Come on.
Hi, my name is Jurgen Appelo. I've been a manager for about 15 years at various companies, most of them software companies, in various positions such as technical director, chief information officer, etc. And I've tried to make organizations more agile. I've introduced agile ideas in those organizations. And that led me to write books, Management 3.0, How to Change the World, and Workout, that help people implement concrete management practices in their organizations. These days, I travel around the world. As a writer, as a speaker, as a workshop facilitator, I meet many people in dozens of countries around the world. And all of them have the same kinds of problems. How do we engage people? How do we motivate them? How do we get them to be happy and more productive? And I help people introduce such concrete, actionable management practices in their organizations. And it seems to help because recently I've been named one of the top 50 management experts in the world. And I feel happy and ecstatic that I'm working with Crossknowledge to distribute these messages, these great ideas worldwide so that you can start changing your organization tomorrow.
My name is Tal Ben-Shahar, and I study positive psychology, the science of happiness. I became interested in this topic because of my own unhappiness. I was an undergraduate student at Harvard, and I found myself during my second year doing very well academically, doing very well in athletics. I played squash, and doing well socially, and yet being very unhappy. And it didn't make sense to me because looking at my life from the outside, things looked great. But from the inside, it didn't feel that way. And I remember waking up one morning, going to my academic advisor and telling her that I'm switching course. I'd been studying computer science until then, and I wanted to switch to philosophy and psychology. And when she asked me why, I said, because I have two questions. The first question is, why aren't I happy? The second question is, how can I become happier? And it's with these two questions that I then went on to study the science of happiness. I actually did become happier through my studies. And when I graduated, I wanted to share what I'd learned with others. And that's when I started to teach. I teach students in universities. I teach teachers who then teach their students in high schools and elementary schools. And I work with corporations, trying to bring the science of well-being and spread it to the world. This is why my work with Crossknowledge is so important to me. This is a way of reaching people around the globe who are change agents, people who can make a difference in their own lives and in the lives of others.
My name is Charles Handy. Some time ago, my wife Elizabeth, who's a photographer, was exhibiting her photographs in the south of England, and I was hanging them for her. A man came up to me and he said, "Beautiful photographs," he said. "I believe Charles Handy is here as well." I said, "Indeed he is, and I am he." He looked me up and down for a long 5 seconds, and then he said, "Are you sure?" He was quite right to say that, because there have been many Charles Handys in my life. Same person, I thought, but actually doing different things. I have been an oil executive with experience of business. I've been a professor of business. I then became a writer of business, but also more than business, a writer about life's chances and life's changes and turns and twists. I have been an educator. I've been a broadcaster for the BBC, giving a little morning reflection for 20 years on the issues of the day. So there have been all sorts of Charles Handys. I don't know which one he was expecting to meet, but it could have been many. We are all different people, but perhaps because I've lived longer, I've been more people than most. You can find more about me in the 20-odd books that I've written. But if I were to describe my role now, these days, I am a concept maker. I basically want to produce the tools that allow people to interpret what's going on around them, what's happening in their work, what's happening in their lives. You don't understand what's happening unless you have the concepts, unless you have the words. That's my job, to provide them for you to use. I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you the tools for you to work out yourself what's happening and what you can then do with that. Thank you very much for listening to me.